Okay, it's super late or super early, depending on how you look at things, depending on what coast you're on. But I can tell you, for me right now, it's 3:16 in the morning, and I'm not gonna say anything more. What? Sorry. Bad Steve Austin impersonation. Give me a break. It's 3 in the morning. Now, I will state right now that I'm going to tackle 1967. And we haven't talked about 1967 since June 5th, when I connected it through Jefferson Airplane to White Rabbit connecting to Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass. And that also was kind of like a little way to say it's going to be Alice Cooper in Wonderland, being the final of the trilogy of Alice Cooper houses in Hollywood. Well, didn't really work out that way. And even though you guys liked my video, and I totally appreciate that, I love that you appreciated my speculation, it was not to be. Now, why am I talking about 1967 tonight? Well, I'm going to rewind, and then I'm going to fast forward, if that makes any sense. We're going to funny games this right now, but I promise you there will be no killing involved, and no hitting the rewind button to make sure someone died that didn't die, and vice versa. Ooh, spoiler alert, whoops. But I will state right now that there was a Snapchat while I was at work today, and the Snapchat was a picture, and the picture said, I gotta look up, up. The only way to survive. Okay? It says the only way to survive is like fire in the background. It had a picture of bottled water and Nutella, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, one Milky Way, and it ends with wait like there's no tomorrow. Hashtag Universal HHN. That's why we're talking about 1967. Because 1967, after we got out of the Alice Cooper or Alice in Wonderland, or both, Alice Cooper in Wonderland in this case, after we got out of that speculation, we jumped to another one. And it connects to this list that keeps floating around that's pretty much like chronicled everything that's going to come to Hollywood this year. Kind of like everything got out in Orlando super early this year. Now, basically what I'm trying to say is this. We're going to talk about 1967. And I have a brand new connection to connect this. Now, what do I mean? Well, let me break it down for you. 1967. The code name, there are 5 hints here. And there's a 6th hint as well, and one of them could be a red herring. So we'll get into that. The theme of the maze is either an album name, a song title, a lyric, or the album cover art itself. You have to figure out which one. The album in question is The End by The Doors. And I really wanted to use Jim Morrison to connect this. I know it seems like it's an obvious connection, but sometimes the Carney way is to be completely obvious. So I'm going to go with this. Now, this album in question, being The End, is not obscure. No, it was actually involved on the Rolling Stone list of 500 greatest albums of all time. That list was populated in 2003. This album was number 42. The band or music artist in question is also not obscure. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And yes, I'd done my digging to realize that the Doors were inducted in 1993. 4, the code name and the hints are music-based, but it's not a music-based maze. It's based on another medium. In this case, it's a movie. Now 5, there's a literary connection to this band or album that may help you decipher whether the theme is in a song, lyric, cover art, etc. The lyric in The End is called, "This is the End, My Friend." And number 6 is being the red herring. I know it seems like it's an obvious one, but I'll say the music or band in question, not from America, but they were extremely popular here. Everyone knows that the Doors are from LA originally, so that is the red herring. So what am I trying to say? The End by the Doors. The End was number 42 on the Rolling Stone Greatest Albums of All Time list in 2003. It's a movie, has nothing to do with music. Its literary connection is through the song, lyrics being, "This is the end, my friend," and the red herring being the fact that they're from LA and not from another country. So what am I saying? Well, you can tie that in with a Snapchat, and the next Snapchat, which was a picture of a drunk coaster, which was kind of shattered in half, and it said "broke" on it. Well, if you recall, in the aforementioned film, when they're having the housewarming party for James Franco, he has this kind of OCD about coasters. And I'm not completely positive on this, but like I said, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty positive he's very OCD about cleanliness in his house. So I'm pretty positive he had a problem with coasters, so I'm going to go with that being the literal connection here. So what am I saying? Well, I'm saying right now that this outside-the-box property is going to be very controversial. It's going to be a lot of things inside this maze that you probably thought you'd never see at Halloween Horror Nights, or never see in a haunt period that doesn't have a waiver for you to sign. Number two, John Murdy did tweet a long time ago about a property that could possibly get him fired, and it's really interesting that there was something that was uncovered the other day for a listing for Universal Jobs, which basically was try to find a new creative director. Yeah, I hope John Murdy is not biting off more than he can chew here. Number three, John Murdy has always wanted to work with something that he's enjoyed throughout his life, and that's the Book of Revelations, and he wants to do a maze based on the Rapture. And it's funny because if you actually go back to 2013 and you read tweets, someone actually asked him about this at the end, and his response was, well, I think I could make this into a maze, a pretty awesome maze. So that's the idea. Plus, don't forget, you have Jonah Hill. He does the Exorcist thing. So you can basically knock out the Exorcist and you can knock out the Rapture in the same maze, and you don't have to get the rights for either of them. And on top of that, you get a finale that involves the Backstreet Boys. So what am I saying? 1967 is This Is the End. And I think it's going to be a very interesting maze in Hollywood. I'm very curious to see how it goes off. I'm really curious to see how it's going to fit with the Mummy queue, because I know that's where it's going to be located. And I'm really curious to see why they didn't put this in a larger venue. Now, it sounds like they're probably going to focus a lot more on the Rapture aspects, not really going to be very much focused on the fact that there's the celebrities that are involved in this. It's basically going to be an end of the world maze, which is what it sounds like. I don't know this for a fact. This is my personal speculation based upon things that I've chatted with other people, updaters I've talked to in the past. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. I'd really like to see this maze for myself, and that's pretty much what I've got for today. And I know it's late, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys and tell you what I thought 1967 truly is. So look for that to be announced sometime today or tomorrow, possibly. There was a announcement that the Purge Terror Tram, that's the rumor at least. We don't know if it's true or not. The Terror Tram is supposed to be announced this week. It's actually been pushed to next week. So I think next week you'll get your Terror Tram announcement, your final maze announcement, and the rest of your scare zones announced with your full reveal and the tickets going on sale. That's what I think is going to happen. Orlando, yeah, things aren't looking too good right now. But don't worry, I have faith in A&D and that they're going to come up with something spectacular, even given the fact that we're less than a month away from the event right now. So, that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. As always, like me on Facebook at Owen Disney. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. Friend request me at Owen Disney, and while you're doing that, you're more than welcome to send me a message on our Facebook fan page like that. It's Sir Owen Disney Pop. Search for Sir Owen Disney and Pop. Email me at sirowendisney@gmail.com. Visit us on moviepilot.com/Sir Owen Disney. And if you have an iOS device, download our new mobile app. It's under Sir Owen Disney on the iTunes Store. And while you're at it, check out some great Halloween Horror Nights fan message boards at Horror Night Nightmares and USH Forums, and check out Designing Fear, and also check out some amazing Halloween Horror Nights updaters, HHN Fandom, HHN Fanboy, Thrill Seeker Network, my friend James, HHN Updated 1, my friend Tristan, HHN Fan 16, and the Horror Nights updaters, which include Crazy Englishman, my friend David, my friend Aaron, the Red Steel TV, my friend Neil, UK HHN, my friend John, Psycho Massacre Films, and my friend Vic, Dr. Emmett Brown 1, and check out their collective channel at Horror Nights Updaters. And while you're at it, also check out First Class Horror too. So check out a lot of great content on YouTube for the West Coast. So that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, which we're going to do a sip and stack, IKEA style, that's all I got to say about that.